actually going to ask you a little bit about your former team since they've been playing pretty well. Have you gotten to watch Toronto at all this year?
Oh, a little bit, yeah. I think obviously Giovinco is one of the best, if not the best player in the league. So he's a threat constantly, and I think he's been on the score sheet in one way or another for most of their games. So obviously he's a big part of their team.
A lot of the criticism over the years was just the defense's inability to sort of just lock it down a little bit. Was that ever the case when you were there? And what kind of benefit is it to the goalkeeper and really just a team in general when you can lean on your defense and sort of have them drive the ship instead of the attack?
Yeah. For one, I think it's actually nice if you're as a goalkeeper, if you're part of a team that's more offensive minded, as in terms of they have their strength up top.
Yeah.
Because if you know that you can consistently score 2 or 3 goals, then more than likely you're going to get some results. But I think what helps them is just for one having a coach there for longer than a year. Someone who has their vision and who's allowed a little bit of time to implement it and allowed to teach the players what he wants them to do, and then they can do it. When I was there for 5 years. I had, I think, 7 coaches, 200 teammates. You can have the best players, which we had. Torsten Frings probably one of the best players I ever played with. It's awfully difficult to ask him to run a ship when the ship's a constant moving parts in there. So I think that consistency has helped.
For sure, and your guys' defense has really played well over the last couple weeks. Is anything changed for you guys? Is it just getting used to each other? What do you sort of attribute that to?
I think we've been okay defensively to begin with. We haven't, besides that game where we got scored on 3 in Colorado, we haven't really gotten blown out of the water. So defensively we've been all right, and even in that game, we were in it until the very end, until obviously they bagged that mysterious 3rd goal. But I think we've been doing all right. Like I said before, I think we have a good veteran core, and one of the things that veterans know is you got to stay even keel. You have some bad results, you keep an even keel. Don't have the lows go too low and the highs too high, and that will bring some consistency. And I think defensively we've been all right. We've been doing all right in that aspect.
Is this a locker room that realizes that you guys do have more to give than you have over the last 2 months here?
Yeah, absolutely. I have no doubt that there's not one guy in this team who thinks we can play much better football than we have, and but I think you can see that on a pitch here, on training pitch as well, that guys are not just saying we have more to show, but that we need to improve. We need to get better a little bit. It's a long, grueling season, and I think the moment you start sleeping and thinking, we'll somehow find a way, that's when other teams will overpower you, out hustle you, all these things. So I don't think we have that in our squad, that complacency. We have guys who are willing to show up and get better and make sure that this team improves.
Sure.
There's obviously a lot of hype, around Jordan coming into this year, but seeing what he's done over the past few games, do you feel like he's even surpassed that a little bit?
Well, the season's young, so really, really happy for him. I think it sets him up for a good season, because the season's young. I don't want to say, he's had a good season, because we were only a couple games into it. So, but I know, or I can only imagine what goes on in his head. It's a big signing for us, and he's probably put some additional pressure on himself. And then you have the media, and you have probably his friends and fans that are hyping it up even more. So. For him to finally find the back of the net is huge. I think that kind of gives him a chance to just take a deep breath and just relax. And then now you see in the past couple of games, I think he's enjoying his football a bit more.
It's probably fun for you guys too.
Yeah,
watch this kid develop right in front of your eyes.
Absolutely, it's and it's really good to see the maturity. And I think that has to do with the background, his family that he comes from. I've seen so many talents that, maybe at a younger age, but talents that. Thought they had it all and gave it all away because they didn't work hard anymore. That's definitely not the case with Jordan. He works his butt off, and he knows he still has to improve a lot. It's perfect.